It's 14:33 on the same date, and unfortunately, there's an issue about those not observing royal protocol and that are coming within a proximity where they have been evading debts owing to my name personally. Therefore, they've been exacerbating those debts, so they've also been causing offence. So, unfortunately, there is a problem arising in County Kerry, as we've seen from the incidents of Brexit happening again. These people, the same cycle of crime. I'm of crime prevention. I've only excelled the principles of civil society progress. The face of Ireland has changed immeasurably, and as I've said in my previous and former upload, it took a lot of blood, sweat and tears in my recovery advocacy to get the legislation into law that came about in 2019, and there have been other junctions that have been met as well, throughout this matter, that are all humanitarian. So unfortunately, there are people parking. I have an awful issue with people parking and passing where they shouldn't be. There are measures of protocol and proximity and privacy regarding my presence in society. Now, whether people are able to come to terms with that or not, then I hope they're not offending my birth origin. Those that are offending my birth and my blood, they really should not speak of matters where they have not been invited, where they're not entitled, and where they are in a criminal stance against royal patronage and protocol. So those that are speaking out of place, offending my birth origins, you might remind yourselves of who, what, where, why and when of these matters. So those that have been in my proximity that are offending all the developments from my recovery advocacy, those that are parking within my proximity while I'm healing, it's not safe for those people on the road now that are breaking or offending the laws of the road. There's been enough issues caused with people coming within a distance where they're not legally entitled to be. That's highly dangerous as well with the land farm trespass, So these people think they're having a free lunch, a free walk in the park, and they don't think they have to do anything properly, and that's why we have problems in the world. So people that don't know how to read the law or uphold the law, they should be careful about espousing to be of anything from my recovery advocacy or anything of my legislation. It's very cheeky, it's disingenuous, it's discourteous, it's inconsiderate, and any threat to the peace in my home county in the southwest of Ireland is not welcome. Anyone that's in this county to cause problems is going home with a burden on their shoulders. So those people that are breaking the law, I'd hate to remind you I'm royal protocol, so please be careful about speaking around my circumstances when there's a crime attached to your identity as a consequence of offending my birth origins and my contributions to society. People parking within my proximity that are of offence, please be careful on the road is all I can advise. Etiquette is at play, and if those aren't observed, then unfortunately people that are neurotic, preoccupied, obsessed, suffering from mental delusions of the mind, those that are observing ASBO behaviour rather than zero tolerance conduct that would be expected from the East, which I have first-hand experience of. Those people that can't uphold the law, please be careful about the consequences being caused. That's not a threat at all, that's just a natural consequence, so please be careful about the things you're saying. As well as that, if the Garda Síochána are only down the road, as we are aware, they might be kind enough to remove people from my proximity that aren't in line with royal protocol. As I've said, a lot of blood, sweat and tears went into my recovery advocacy and crime prevention in Ireland, and it has changed the face of Ireland. So the least that this country can do is honour its obligations to the Constitution and then honour its obligations to my birth origins. But any more crime that I have to tolerate after the crime prevention that I have been issuing and initiating and the origin of, those people that are ignorant enough to be silly or short-minded, please be careful about the consequence of your actions, okay? Those that are in my proximity with no right or observance of protocol, royal protocol that is, are facing a penalty and a charge. It's as simple as that. And those that are aware of the whereabouts of my child, the location of my son, it would be in the best interest of everyone to try and prioritise what's right than letting down the standards of society with poor conduct that is representative of ASBO. People that aren't minding their noses might be careful about having to address issues of identity. Do you know what I mean? So we know what has happened with people's defamation already. It's caused awful problems, false reporting, my good character. But the legislation 2019 speaks for itself and it's worldwide. So anyone of fraud with regard to my recovery advocacy of 2 decades and that is living comfortably off the fruits of my labour, that being both health and wealth, might be very, very careful about where they're causing problems, where they owe solutions. It's a sad sign of the time.